What's up, y'all? Got a super awesome video for you guys today as we're going to be going through the top 5 automations over here that make money. These are not save time automations. These are make money automations, and you can download a lot of these completely for free. Let's get into the first one, which is automated out of office replies. And so whenever we notice that someone responds with an out of office message, typically they're referring us to someone else at the company. And we automatically respond to those emails using these two automations over here, and very often get in contact with someone that's even more qualified for the decision. And as you can see, we generated a sick lead for our client that's currently in the sales funnel, potentially closing, right? So that's the first one, comprehensive performance reports. And so we have this reporting system over here, which is inside our project management system. And we basically draft emails. So this is a recent email that I just drafted. It helps me generate reviews because this email type specifically is a testimonial request. But we also sent another performance report before, which was a weekly performance report. And in this particular instance, we were not doing great. We were doing a lot of volume, a lot of effort, and the client could clearly see that. But this performance report just made it extremely clear because we were able to outline what we were doing. And this client stayed with us, and they've been with us for several months now. And so that's super awesome. The other one here is a free lead magnet. And so we are able to generate custom landing pages at scale, custom documents at scale, custom everything at scale, except for the video, which we do record manually. But this obviously generates money. We're going to be diving a little bit deeper into all of this stuff in a second. Internal Chrome extension. So this right here helps me do tasks. And so HubSpot tasks, I can easily navigate to my HubSpot tasks to do them. Okay, we've got no HubSpot tasks. Inactive warmups, I can easily navigate to my inactive warmups. List building, I can go, actually I don't want to enter that, but I can easily navigate through all of these different places. And so how this makes me money is that I'm actually doing my tasks. And so for the first time in a long time, I'm actually just cranking every single day, doing everything that I need to be doing. And so it obviously makes me money because I'm generating better leads for my clients. And then secondarily, I'm working my deals like I should be. And so that is the third one. We're going to be diving into these in a second. But the last one here, I actually made a video on it yesterday, which is the marketing funnel dashboard. And so when we go to the HubSpot reports, this is sample data. But as you can see, it allows us to see how each of the leads are progressing through the sales funnel. And so we spend a certain amount every single month, right? And then we generate a certain amount of deals and then book a certain amount. They have a certain amount show up, and then all of this stuff happens, right? However, what we tend to lack is, one, the conversion rates, and they're typically not very easily accessible in any of these CRM tools. And then secondarily, we lack the visibility to see how much we're spending and how that affects our entire funnel. But now we can easily track our CAC, we can track our LTV to CAC ratio, and we can track all of this stuff. And so if I want to spend more to make more, I can easily use data to make those judgments. And this is the automation that helps us do that. Okay, so now let's dive into the very first one, automated out of office responses. And let's go slowly this time, right? So as I did mention, we're basically responding to out of office messages. And so this is going to be the step one. So this is a two-step automation. This one is going to be looking for the Smart Lead webhook. Once we get the Smart Lead webhook, it's going to parse through the email body text and then send it over to Clay. And then, by the way, if you go to afonto.com/automations, you can actually just go to out of office. So you can just search out of office. Did I type that right? So let's do out of office. Oh, I need to click enter. And then automate responses to out of office. So these automations are already there for you guys, right? And then this is going to essentially be sending the data into a Clay table. And so if you were to click duplicate Clay table, there's going to be the Clay table over here, which you could duplicate. And so if we actually look at what this Clay table is doing, it's grabbing the person who responded. It's also grabbing the email body text and analyzing that using ChatGPT. So it's analyzing who should we contact. And in this particular case, it was Linton. And so if you look back here, Amy is the person who responded, but Linton is the right person for us to contact. And so once we've got Linton's email, we can actually send them to step two, where we do the automated response. However, we can also send them to a different campaign and then just start something completely fresh. I like to do the automated response right back to them because they can actually very easily see the conversation. And so if you actually zoom into this conversation over here, the person responded, "Good morning, I can help. I'm happy to follow up where you left off with this person," and they could clearly see the chats, right? So this is great. This is great. And this is what the step 2 looks like, by the way. So it grabs the info from Clay. So when we go back to Clay over here, sent to step 2, that is the webhook there. And then it goes into Smart Lead, grabs the emails, and then automatically responds like that. But as I did mention, the automations are already here. You could just download them for free. Okay, so let's go ahead and check this off. Let's move on to the next one, comprehensive performance reports. And so I had already given you guys a walkthrough as to how this layout works. And this is all it is. It's really just that. It's what do we want to say on the subject? What do we want to say in the email draft? Who are we sending the email to? And typically these fields are filled in by the automation, but you can easily just do it manually and be fine. The main thing that's happening here is that we go from to do to send a test email to send email to the client, right? So these trigger webhooks, and when they trigger the webhook, it's going to come here. And then what this is going to do is get the task, and by getting the task, it's going to get all of that information. And then these over here, so you can actually depending on your use case, you can probably just ignore all of these because what these are doing is they're searching our database to find all of the positive replies, all of the interested leads, all of the stuff that we might want to showcase inside one of our emails, right? But if you don't have that, then you could literally just do something as simple as this, right? So let's just unlink all of this stuff over here. Let's link these. Look how simple it is, right? And so this is basically all you need to create. It's just an email, and then we get the body. So this HTML stuff, we get it from one of the free HTML builders. So you could just search that up. There's going to be free HTML builders that can help you do this. But this is really all you need. This other stuff over here is just fancy, and you don't need that. Okay, so let's move on to the next one over here. We can go ahead and check that off. Free lead magnet at scale. And so this is what it is. It's basically just creating a document for us. It also creates the landing page for us. It does several different things. But the way that it's actually doing this is using our what do you call this? Our Chrome extension. And so we would just do create a lead magnet over here. We would click afonto.com, for example, click submit. And then when we click submit for afonto.com, it's going to create a ClickUp task for us. It's going to be in the lead magnet section over here. And then what this is doing currently in the background is it's currently doing research on Afonto, doing research and doing all of these different things. And then in a second over here, it's going to come up with a document. It's going to come up with a landing page. It's going to come up with all of the stuff. And then from our end, we have the status over here to go from to do to complete. To signify that we delivered the lead magnet to the client. And if we don't, we're going to keep having all of this information here. Another thing that I do want to mention, actually, that's pretty much it for the lead magnet, right? We're going to deliver it. It's being created automatically. And maybe it's going to pop up in a second here. It typically takes like a minute or two, but like I'm not doing anything, right? So it's awesome. We'll come back to it in a second. Okay, so let's go back to the other extension and let's just check this off for now. Something else that I did mention about the internal only Chrome extension, that I didn't mention, is that it can actually help me be productive in ways that you might not have anticipated. And so I showed you guys how we do tasks, but what about if we could stop ourselves from doing things unless the tasks were completed? And so for example, we go back to this and you notice how the lead magnet is 1. This means we have a task available. And so if I click make, tasks must be completed. And so we're not going to be able to go into make and go into a whole bunch of websites that are currently available unless we finish the tasks that are available inside this Chrome extension. And so this, again, goes back to making more money because the tasks is where the money is. Completing the tasks, creating the campaigns, communicating with clients, building the lists, that's where the money is made. All of this other stuff, that's the fun stuff. That's the stuff that I enjoy. But doing the tasks, that's where the money is made. And so this actually helps us stay productive in that manner. And when we go back here, document successfully created, and then we've got the HubSpot document. We've got all of the stuff, publish, share the landing page. Here's the doc, right? So we've got all of this stuff. I'll probably delete it in a second. But yeah, there you go. So now we can actually just refresh the data. And in a second here, it's going to go from 1 lead magnet to 2 lead magnets, to 0 lead magnets. And when that happens, oh, now we have a client comms task, which was over here. So you see how cool this is? Because I can easily keep track of all of the tasks that I'm doing across the organization. And so normally I would have thought that I'm done with my client comms, but this helps. Anyways, I think you guys get the point. This would have worked. All right, so let's move on to the last one over here. It's the marketing funnel dashboard. And so I made a video on this yesterday, so you should check out my YouTube channel and look at how I discussed to set this up. But this is essentially what it is. So it's using an Airtable workspace, and then we just have underlying formulas inside each of these, right? So for example, if we want to get the book rate, it's just a division formula. If we want to get the show rate, another division formula. Advertising costs, we're basically grabbing these costs from our accounting software. And something that I do inside my accounting software is I use custom tags. And so I would basically look at all of the transactions and tag them as advertising costs. And so, for example, if I'm purchasing inboxes internally, those would be an advertising cost, and they would add up over here so that we can easily track this information. Something else that we do is we do the CAC calculations retroactively. And so, for example, if we were to look at the CAC for October, right? So October, it says $0, right? However, we still spent 6,000. Actually, you know what? Check out that other video. I think it's gonna get into even more depth. But this is the general automation, and then this is how it works. So we basically just look at our CRM to figure out the deals. Once we have the deals, we're able to know how many deals we created, how many of those deals have a meeting booked, meeting held, and then we're also able to look at the closed deals and then determine the amount of those deals, and then determine the number of closed deals, right? And so that's how we're getting a bulk majority of the deals. And then this bottom section over here is basically helping us do that CAC calculation, because to further expand on that, if we look at this, right? So the advertising cost, it's 1,000. Actually, I don't even think this is. This is outdated. This is outdated, but I do explain it in the other video. And so these are the top 5 automations, and very specifically the ones that make you money. If you want to download 100 free automations, you can just go to afonto.com/automations. As I mentioned, the out of office one is going to be there. And you can also just reach out if you're looking for lead gen services. Cheers.